Okay, this is hopefully going to be a short tutorial about how to create a main menu system for a game in TouchDevelop. This could also apply to a normal app, but I'm mainly focusing on games with this because I'm going to use 2 game boards to create the main menu. It's been a while since I've recorded a video about TouchDevelop, and since then they've added Yahoo to the login for TouchDevelop. Not really sure that anybody still uses Yahoo, but cool, well done TouchDevelop guys. I'm going to log in using Microsoft. I didn't ask them for a login because I'd already logged in earlier. Here's an example while I'm at it of a simple TouchDevelop main menu system. But I'm going to recreate it for a different game, but this is just a quick example of one I prepared earlier for you. And yes, I want to exceed storage. So I've just used 3 logos. You can go into the high score table. Haven't found a way to allow you to touch the walls, so it just gives you 5 seconds and then goes back to the main menu. Play takes you into the game. If we die, then what should happen is it will say game over, and I can tap the screen and it will go back to the main menu and I can play again. So we've got a very simple main menu system. Let's do the same for Touch Invaders. Okay, so if we play Touch Invaders now, it will go straight into the game. But let's add into that a main menu system. So before we do that, we're going to need some art. Now I'll use one of the space backgrounds for the backdrop, but let's create some logos. I use 2 sites for this. One is called cooltext.com and the other one that I sometimes use is called flameintext.com. Both good sites and allow you to create things very quickly. So here we go. So cool text. Let's choose a nice font for our game. That's quite Space Invaders. The problem is the animation part of that will not work. That's kind of that order there. So kind of a Star Galactica theme there. Right, there we go. Touch Invaders. I like it. I like it a lot. Right. Create logo. I think we'll put it in the middle. Okay. Download image. Yes, we want that image. We're going to save that as logo. And my SkyDrive. Right, so we've got a logo. Now I'm just going to be simple and use the same button. Play. So a button for play. Create that logo. I'm going to keep centered. I don't really think it matters to be honest, but let's keep doing that. I'm not sure if I should do it the whole way across or not. I'm just going to keep it simple. You could spend more time in this, but I'm just doing this quickly as you can see. And what else do we want is, I'll tell you what I want, what I really want. I want a high score button. And last but not least, we want game over. Okay, that'll do. So let's go in, now we've created our art using cooltext.com, let's go in and upload them. So let's go to add, pick, and we're going to upload from my Sky Drive all my images. I like how now it changes the art resource automatically. That's a neat trick. Well done, TouchDevelop guys. Right, let's add another one. And this time has scores. Feel free to forward this because I think you've got the idea now. I'm going to upload all 4 of them. Notice there's only one button now for adding everything, which should make things easier. Although I suppose if you just tell the way it can slow you down a little bit on a touch screen, I think it'd be a lot easier. Okay. And lastly, one more to go. And it's a play button. Okay, so we've now got all the art in that we need. Right. One of the first things we want to do is create a new background. Okay, so we're going to create a main member. You don't really need the comment, but I've just done it to be consistent with all of it. So var main menu, we're going to call this as a variable name, and it's going to be media, create landscape board, click back on that, promote it to data. Okay, we're going to say main menu, create picture, and we're going to create art, and we're going to use earth background. Okay. Now we're not going to be posting the board to the wall right away, so let's just try swapping that out for main menu in there just to see what happens. It didn't work because I think farther on I'm posting to the board in Reset Game. I'm probably posting to the board as well, right? So let's just take that line out. Actually, we'll post to the board in a minute. We'll assume that's working. It's the same background we're using actually during the game, so let's just see. Maybe we should use a different one actually. Yeah, let's use that space background, yeah. Right, so we'll use a different one for the main menu. Okay, so the main menu is going to have a different background. That is the wrong command I have used. It should be set background picture. Whoops. Okay, and it should be art, and we're going to do space background. Okay, so there we go. Now I don't actually think, by the way, that you need to set gravity to 0, 0 anymore. I think it now, if you don't. So yeah, I don't think you need to set the gravity to 0, 0 when you don't want gravity. I think if you just leave it off, it assumes that now in TouchDevelop. So we now have 2 game boards. Okay, we're not posting either of them right away. What we're going to do is go to the game loop now, and basically everything in here I'm going to select. Every single thing in this game loop I'm going to select, and I'm going to extract it to what I'm going to call, let me see, what will I call it? Update game. Okay, or maybe just call it, no, we'll call it update game. Okay, so the game loop is getting extracted out. Okay, that will still run, as you see, but we're going to do something else. We're going to add in one more variable, which is going to be var, I'm going to call it game state, and I'm going to set it to 0, and we are going to promote it to data. Right, so it's just going to be a numeric game state. 0 I'm going to make as being the state the game will be in when it's on the main menu. So we're going to start things on the main menu. Let's see what reset game does. Right, so all that stuff we can actually wait to do now till our main menu is called. Right, so reset game is going to be taken out of there. And if we run now, okay, let's run now, it's not playing the right. So in game loop, what we're going to say is we're going to do a series of if statements. We're going to say if data. Now did I put that to down? Yeah, I did. Sorry, I missed it. So game state equals 0. Right. Else if data game state equals 1. Else if data game state equals 2. Okay, now the first if is going to be the main menu, the second if is going to be when the game is playing. Right, and so in that one we're going to put that one in there. That game state 2 is going to be when we're in the high score table. And last but not least is when the game is over. Yeah, this one is when the last else will be game state 3, which is when we're in game over state when the logo's on the screen. Okay, so if we go into the game look now, so we're going to update game now. This may be a bit here that displays the high score. Let's see. Not where am I doing that? End game, right? So in end game, what we have is pretty much what we need for doing the high score. So while clear, bizarre post with the word score. Now that we're going to take out because we actually want to do that when the game ends, right? So let me see. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put the first leaderboard score there, and I'm going to set data game state equal to 3, and this is going to put us into the state when the game is over. I'm going to take end game out of there because I'm actually going to change end game anyway if I can find it. End game is going to be renamed to display high score. Okay, so what we're going to do in display high score is we're going to clear the wall, we're going to post the scores to the wall, we're going to sleep for 5 seconds, and instead of saying play again, what we're going to do after 5 seconds is put the game state back to 0 for the main menu. Okay, and we're going to post the main menu to the wall. So that bit can come out. Okay, now before we go much further, we really will need to add in the buttons, okay? But let's just see if we've got this working yet. Because what we actually want to do is post the main board, post that one, because we're going to start in the main menu, so we need to post that one to the wall. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so we've got game state equals 0 and we run it, it posts to the wall. Okay, so the other thing we want to do is in game loop, we want to do the same thing that we do for any menu, any board. So we want to say main menu. We want to evolve it, and we want to say main menu, update it, and that's pretty much all we need to do for that main menu. Okay. So now we've got our main menu loop, so if we go to game state we do the main board, we evolve and update it. If we go to game state 1 we do the update game, and game state 2 we display high score, and otherwise it's the end of the game and we want to say if data board is touched, and we want to do main menu post to all, and game state equals 0. Okay, so that's our pretty much our game loop complete now. Okay, so the game loop is just a simple if else that just chooses what state the game's in. The game's running the high score main menu. So in theory now, if we have the graphics, so let's put the graphics in, that's the next stage, right? So var, let's have our logo, and data, main menu, create picture, and the picture we want is the game logo. Don't really think we need that to be global, to be honest, because we're never going to change that, so I'll try just leaving that as it is. Let's try set the position of the logo to 100 down and 400 to put it in the middle. Slightly too big. I should have done that really when I should have adjusted that really when I created it. I thought I had kept it to the right size, so we'll set it to 800 so it fills the width. Okay, so touch invaders. Okay, let's create our next variable. So we're going to have our play button, and for that we're going to do main board, create picture, art, and we're looking for our play button. And we're going to set the play button to be again 400 in the middle, so we'll just keep the x coordinate in the middle. Let's set this to 250. Okay, that'll do. Again, you could spend longer fiddling about with sizes, but I'm not going to because it's just meant to be quick. Right, main menu, create picture, art, and we want the high score button, and we want to set the high score button to 400. Okay. Right, so there we go. That'll actually be okay, don't you think? I think these buttons are maybe a bit too big because I had to resize that logo. Probably you should shrink them down a little bit. To be honest, it'll work for this example, so I'm just going to leave it, right? Or should I? No, I don't know. You could resize it, set width, so say we set it to 400, I don't know if that'll make it smaller, let's see. That made it bigger. Is that better? I'm not sure. So set that. Right. Pardon me, I need to beat that out. Right, I wish I hadn't started resizing them. Right, that'll do. It's touch invaders, play, and high score. Right, we need to make them global. Right, so play, promote to data, and high scores. Promote to data. Animate pause. Okay, so we've got to promote these to global, which I've done now. The two buttons that we're going to be able to tap on, the play button and the high score button. Now we can add an event for the play button. Tap sprite play, there we go. Okay, so when we tap it, it's quite simple. all we want to do is when you tap play, we set the game state to be 1. We want to post the board to the wall, and I think our reset game function already does that. Let's check. It does. And it posts the background pictures. I think it does everything we need to do in there actually, so right, so we'll just call that reset game and let's see if that does the trick. Okay, so there we go. Right, that worked. Let's add another event for high score. Tap the high score. What we want to do is set the game state to be 2. And that's all we have to do. So we're just changing the game state when we tap the buttons. So there we go, we have the high score. And it goes back. Now, I haven't found a way to be able to tap the wall, so I'm just giving it a 5-second delay, so don't be tempted to hit what I almost did there and hit the button to go back, just wait. Right, that's working. See if I tap the screen now it goes back. What I just need to do is put the logo up there now, okay? So if we go into update game, forget where that is. Is it an update game? Oh, it's there, right? So this says if life is greater than 0, and this is when the game ends. So what we want to do here is post our picture, so we need to create that first. Okay, so let's add that in here. This is to the main, actually in the game board we're adding this to, so don't forget that. Right, so let's call it a game over logo, whatever you call it, and data board, create picture, and look for game, not game over logo, just see it, game over pic. Okay, we need to promote that to data, and let's just, whoops, let's just put it in the middle of the screen. So consider our board is 800, it's 400 by 240, isn't it? You could also, by the way, use the, you could see the board width divided by 2 if you don't want to put the number in case you ever change the size of the screen. I suppose it's better code. You can say board height divided by 2. Right, and lastly we're going to say game over logo, and we're going to hide it. In fact, where we're going to hide it is in reset game. So I'm going to say game over logo, hide. Right, so when we run the game we don't want to see it. Okay, but when we do want to see it finally is when we die. We want to say data, game over logo, show. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so now we've got a main menu, touch invaders, play, high score. If you've got high score, it shows the high score. It will go back if we wait a second. If we're going to play, it gets our normal option, tilt screen. I'm going to say no because we're on the computer. died far too quick. Right, now that is a slight mistake. What we want to do is actually put a slight delay in here. Time sleep, and we'll just say 1, so make it sleep for a second so that they realise they're dead. Right, and I forgot one more thing. This one thing I didn't do. Because we're paused there, right, this is something you don't think about. Because we're paused before we've gone back to updating the board, even though we've shown that, it's not there, so we've got to say board updating wall. Okay, and let's do that. And there we go, we've got a game over coming up. Okay, and we can tap the screen, it goes back, so high score is working. Play is working, touchscreen controls, no. Game's over. Press the button and it goes back to the main menu. And there we go. Now notice there isn't an exit button, and Windows apps aren't meant to have exit buttons. Don't ask me why not. Talk to Microsoft if you've got questions about why they're not to have exit buttons. I'm not actually sure. Okay, that's all folks. Enjoy. Don't forget though to publish your apps.